he's gearing up. Clooney the clown is gearing up. He's going to be Kingmaker again for 2028. You know, Hollywood might swoon over George Clooney, but you and I know that real America sees something else. A clown, okay? They see another kind of a Hollywood elite millionaire whose zip code is somehow reality proof and whose politics come straight from Malibu dinner tables and that kind of nonsense versus working families in Ohio, people who see it our way, people who see the truth, people who see reality. And now he's back at it, living the delusion, lining up donors, dialing insiders, and quietly auditioning for the role of Democratic Kingmaker in 2028. He thinks this. I mean, it could happen, but understand, watch him carefully. It does two things. Helps the box office, helps his shot at a Tony or an Oscar, and other things, but it maintains his ability as the big shot. Remember the old days, in the days of Robert Redford and Warren Beatty, they mattered. But it's a different story. Now we got this clown, okay? So in 2028, he's acting as if voters have been waiting for Hollywood or this guy to fix their lives. He is beyond delusional. Clooney is 64 years old, and he still thinks that somehow charisma is a political strategy. And sources are saying that he's already holding secret donor calls and whispered strategy dinners in L.A. and New York. See, he really believes with his wife, Amal, who dreads autocorrect. I'll let you do the math on that one. But he truly believes that Democrats are lost and that he can guide them back to glory somehow by sheer star power, okay? Now, that might impress an award show crowd, but it doesn't work in Pennsylvania or Wisconsin or Ohio or Polk County, Florida, where people care about grocery bills, not celebrity cocktails and this jerk-off. But that is exactly the trouble with Democratic politics. See, they speak to voters, not with them. See, Clooney is simply the shiny new megaphone. He's a clown, and he doesn't know it, so let's not tell him, okay? It's like Bill Maher. They think they're actually better and smarter for reasons, I don't know. Now, one strategist that we hear says that Clooney thinks he can unify a broken party by lending his fame and his name to their message. Yeah. Okay. Another one warns that he's repeating his classic mistake, mistaking power and star power for leadership. See, it's the same miscalculation that Democrats keep making. See, they think that influence equals intellect and fan base, whatever that is, equals policy. Wrong. But Americans in 2025 are sharper than that. See, they're tired of being lectured by these jadruls, these entertainers who don't pump their own gas or wait for paychecks. They have no idea what's going on. And they're watching Clooney very closely. You see, because he is exactly what they are sick of. Exactly, specifically. Look, let's be blunt. President Trump connects to real Americans because he talks about real things. You know this, I know this. I don't have to tell you about this. He doesn't ask for applause from coastal elites. He doesn't walk into a diner for a photo op and then fly back to a private compound. He fights for energy jobs and border security and lower costs and speaks to the voters. And yes, for the dignity of middle-class work. That is his focus. Clooney, on the other hand, lives in a world where politics is costume jewelry. You know, something to wear temporarily for applause, something to pretend you believe. He's vapid, he's vacuous, he's void, vacant. He's a jadrol. Now, Democrats have a serious problem, as you know. They can't speak the language of the voter anymore. And instead of fixing that they're fixing the message, they keep handing their message to entertainers. And instead of trying to perhaps refashion, reshape, redirect, repackage their particular ideology and worldview, they keep turning to these idiots. You know, Taylor Swift endorsements, Hollywood fundraisers, celebrity hashtags. Nobody cares. They forget that elections are not won on stage, but they're won in the streets. And the streets of Kenosha and Grand Rapids and Youngstown and Scranton. See, George Clooney has not set foot in those places in any meaningful political way. But he speaks as if he owns the stage and knows their pain and knows their message and knows their heart. People are suggesting that he's preparing an enormous Beverly Hills fundraiser for early next year. Invite only, ultra exclusive, glittering with donor money and coastal privilege. The kind of event where the word working class gets mocked, used only as a talking point. You see, the real question is, who benefits? Cui bono? Who really benefits from this? Certainly, it's not truckers or nurses or farmers. No. This is not political strategy. It's Hollywood therapy. Wealthy donors will smile. Democrats will nod. Social media will buzz. Everybody will love it. But none of it is going to change one vote in Wisconsin. None. So here's what Democrats still refuse to understand. The country is shifting. People have felt ignored by experts for too long. They're tired of celebrity sermons from these idiots. Celebrity sermons from gated communities and driveways and the red carpet. They no longer trust media or Hollywood. Frank Capra's dead. Reagan's dead. Nobody trusts these people. Plus, Hollywood is just disintegrating because AI is going to fix that. And they don't trust media, whatever's left of it, or Hollywood, or the professional outrage machine. They trust their wallets, and they trust their instincts, and they trust truth. And those instincts say that the country has stronger ties and was stronger with President Trump, and safer under President Trump, and more prosperous under President Trump than this clown. George Clooney is the perfect symbol of the disconnect. They're telling you he's handsome. Do you think he is? Do you swoon? Do you fall over him? Do you? It's what they want you to believe. Oh, yeah. He's so handsome, they want you to think that you can't think straight. You can't think straight because you can't believe that somebody like this could actually be in front of you. Because he's God's gift to whatever. I don't think that. Nobody thinks that. What are we, stupid? I mean, look, they think that he's good, he's handsome, he's well-meaning, but he's utterly insulated from the consequences of political nonsense, the politics and the policies that he promotes. And the inside folks say that party leadership is worried, but will not confront him. They're afraid to offend Hollywood donors. They nod politely while privately cringing. They're thinking, oh, sure, not this guy again. Because they know this is political poison. In a year when Democrats desperately need authenticity, they're putting their faith in this guy again, in celebrity. And if Clooney becomes their face, if he becomes the face of their message, their fate is sealed, doomed, because America has changed. The Trump voter doesn't watch Hollywood speeches. They watch their bank account and their streets and their border and their families, and they listen to their heart and they watch. A lot of insiders are saying that Washington will smile and pose for photos, but watch Clooney very carefully. Even Democrats remember his past failures. His endorsements meant nothing. They resulted in headlines that overshadowed the candidates. Remember when he dragged this old decrepit coot, this incontinent Biden? His fundraisers were too flashy, too coastal, too smug, and his media presence just distracts from the real battles that Democrats need to fight. But George Clooney seems convinced that politics is a movie, that he can fake it till he makes it, right? That image is substance. That applause equals approval. That he can fool you. Those days, Georgie, are over with, my friend. I got news for you. You see, look, you know this and I know this. Trump supporters already see this as a gift from the gods. While Democrats flirt with stardom, President Trump is building momentum. While these Hollywood cretins plan events in Beverly Hills, Trump visits workers of Youngstown. And while George Clooney tries to look presidential, and that President Trump acts presidential with policy, strength, clarity, and a connection to everyday life and the average voter that Hollywood could only dream of. And they can't fake. And here's the truth. The average American voter doesn't hate Hollywood, but they don't trust it either. Not with their taxes, not with their safety, not with their family, not with their future. They want leadership, not celebrities. And they know the difference. George Clooney might draw cameras. He might make donors feel hopeful. But he simply cannot speak the language of real pain or real work. President Trump can. And that's why 2028 will not be decided in Beverly Hills or Malibu. It will be decided in the towns that Hollywood forgot. See, George Clooney believes he can pick the next Democratic nominee. He really does. He believes it. But America has already picked a fighter. His name is Donald J. Trump. And no cocktail party can stop a movement born in truck stops and construction sites and diners and factory floors. That's the difference. I'll say it again, between Hollywood, and that's the difference between Hollywood and us, and that's something that Hollywood will never understand. Never. They just don't get it. He doesn't get it. He'll never get it. So let me ask you, do you agree with me? Of course you do. I want to see your thoughts and comments. I've got questions for you. Let's see what you have to think. Because these clowns think you can be fooled. So my friends, I thank you. Please like this video. Subscribe to our channel. 80 or so % of the people who watch our videos don't even subscribe. We need your metrics because we need to get on the expressway so that new people can hear our voice. A voice of America, a voice of reason, a voice of common sense. That's it. That's simple. So I thank you. And now I ask you, of course, to comment as you see fit.